What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Preacher's Kid
Let's go.
podcast,
Let's
right
do
here
this.
with Eli Blevins. My name is
Yes.
Jon Groves. And Eli, you're a Preacher's Kid, dude. Tell us about
Oh
that.
yeah. Man, it is awesome. So yes, my name is Eli Blevins. I just turned 26 years old. And I've been a preacher's kid now for 15, 16 years now. My mom and dad planted a church in Wilmington, North Carolina, when I was about 9, 10 years old. And man, it has been awesome. There have been just awesome things about it. I'm a people person, so man, I got to grow up around people my whole life. And so it's like I always had friends around, which is really cool. And a lot of times, my friends were like older though. So like I was friends with adults. I was friends with just whoever was around. And I was like, if you're gonna be around, then cool, you're my friend. I don't care who you are. So
Come on.
so that was a pretty cool thing about that. Is I just kind of grew up in this people kind of environment. Shout out to all my Enneagram people. I'm a 7, I think I am, which means I just like to party and have a lot of people around. And so that kind of was huge for me. So yeah, I've been a pastor's kid for about 15, 16 years in beautiful Wilmington, North Carolina. You guys should come visit me sometime. We have a beach, and so that's all I need to say about that. We have a beach,
Come
so just come.
on.
Come. We have beach. We got good food. We got schools here. Come move
Yeah,
here. I don't care. So,
let's go.
what about you, John? What you're a preacher's kid too? Tell us about
Yeah.
that.
So I'm a fourth generation Preacher's Kid.
Shoot.
So my dad's a preacher, my grandpa, my great grandpa, and what's cool is that's actually on like both sides of my family. My
Yep.
fiance, soon to be wife, is a fifth generation preacher's kid. So we long line, but no joke. I'll tell people I'm a fourth generation preacher's kid. It just means I'm 4 times as messed up as most people, because I
Stop.
grew up in it. Like I've never known a day outside of like the ministry,
Hmm.
and my dad and my grandfather were both pastor evangelists. So
Yeah.
there were so many years of my life where I was in church every single weeknight and not just on the weekends, revivals
Oh,
and conferences,
you have
stuff
the
like
Bible
that.
memorized. Yeah.
Oh, come on. Yeah, I've got the entire Bible memorized. I keep all the commandments, like no, it's been so good. And a few years ago, I started this Facebook group called the Preacher's Kid Network.
Let's go.
I started it because I was on Twitter and I started noticing all of
Shout out to
these.
Twitter, by the way.
Yeah, like, those, how do you say it? Like anon Twitter accounts?
Yeah. Remember when those were a thing?
I don't know. Yeah, remember when that was really popular to do? There were all these preacher's kid ones, and they were all saying the things that we all wanted to say, but sometimes in a more colorful way. And because you couldn't see their face, so they couldn't get in trouble.
Right.
And that was actually how we met, was on
Yep.
Twitter.
Yep.
Because I just started searching the hashtag preacher's kid and inviting all of them to become my best friends.
And now we are.
And now we are. He,
And that's
Eli, you and I get to spend like one day a year together in person
for about 8 hours.
for about 8 hours, and then we are back to our Skype relationship here.
But then we have like 8 hours for like in a hotel room. And
It,
so like we were like somewhere someone's house, they're doing something. Like
yes,
it's the most deep relationship for someone who only hangs out once a year.
I
That's
know.
changing. 2020 though. It's our
2020 is our year. Like Olivia and I are coming to. We're gonna be there for like a couple weeks and just enjoy the beach with you and Amanda.
Yeah, yeah. We need to have the double date. By the way, you're about to get married. The wife life is the best life. So
Ooh,
I'm
I'm
telling you,
stoked about that.
2 years from me, and hopefully another 102 years ago.
Come on, let's go.
Yep. So there you go.
Well, Eli, in that Facebook group that I guess you and I kind of started together, because I
Yeah.
think you were the first person that I connected with.
I was also just the only person who was like posting in there too. So
Right. Yeah, we really kind of let that we kind of let that die. Turns out young people weren't really on Facebook. Um, but you and I kept the conversations going back and forth about the life of a PK.
yep.
And what's crazy is through that Facebook group, even though the group didn't get a lot of activity, yours and my DMs did get a lot of activity with like these. I get no better way to maybe like closet PKs
Yeah.
who were writing to us and being like, hey, I'm struggling with this, or
Yep.
my family is like this behind the scenes. And then there were a couple PK daughters who were really hitting on Eli for a while. I
Oh,
guess we don't have to
no.
talk about that.
The
And so
left on red.
left on red.
Zero responses.
So we just decided, let's bring this conversation, to YouTube and the podcast world, because there are thousands of us out there who are
Yeah.
dealing with the exact same things.
Yeah, that's right. I think in Wilmington, which is where I am, and this is just Wilmington. We're a town of about 150,000 people. But I saw somewhere where there's about 415 churches in our town. Like
Wow.
we are in the Bible Belt. Like we are like the belt buckle of the Bible Belt. Like we got all the stuff here in North
Oh,
Carolina. So we have. There's just so many churches, and every church has pastors and multiple pastors too. And with
yeah,
that, we're like, there's pastors' kids who, around, and they need someone to maybe not even just like look up to, but just to like be in their corner with. Like, you can do this. It's pretty good. We're fighting with you. We're here for you. We're supporting you. And so that's just kind of what we want to be for pastors' kids across the country, across the world.
absolutely.
We're going international with this. Like,
International,
you never
global. Yes.
global. Yes. Invite me to come speak at your church in the Bahamas or in Bora Bora, or Hawaii, especially in these winter months.
I feel
Yeah,
God
that'd be awesome.
calling us to Hawaii.
I do too. Church plant there. That's right.
Absolutely. So if you're a preacher's kid out there, we
Yep.
are going to come to you, I don't know, once a month.
Yeah.
Once, we'll see how, but at least once a month, we're going to come to you and we're going to talk about some of the things that straight up nobody else understands. And
Yep.
if you are a preacher listening to this and you did not grow up as a PK, but you've got kids, this podcast is going to be important for you too.
Yes,
Because
for
I don't know
sure.
about you, Eli, but there are some things that PKs go through that their parents don't always even get, and so we want to break those things
Yeah.
apart and just be encouragement.
Yeah, I think the last thing we want to do is for there to be a disconnect between like mom and dad or like even grandparents to like kids. And honestly, like, this is going to sound so cliche, but like when you're like in church and you're doing this thing, like you're all on the same team. Like
Yes,
you should want your kids to have a heart for the house. You should want your kids to, grow up and serve the Lord. And, now I'm working in ministry as well. And, that's a result of my parents being the absolute legends that they are, and raising me in
absolutely.
a I don't know if there's a word for this other than perfect, but it was like I literally had the best pastor's kid experience imaginable. Of course, it was hard. That's life. Church is hard. There's hard things, but I saw what like a healthy couple look like that was also doing ministry, and I was like, I want to be like that. And so, for
Absolutely.
parents who are listening to this, and for pastors listening to this, you are the person that your kids look up to the most. And so like you have such a huge responsibility. And so I would not even be an iota of a person with my parents. Like they just, they could have like a statue in front of my house, like for all they've done in terms of that. So I encourage
Wow.
you guys, man, you're never, just because I think this is what I think. I think parents, and I'm not a parent, and I'm not about to be a parent, but some things that I see is that just because you have made mistakes before doesn't mean you are a mistake. And
Absolutely.
so, like, just because you have maybe not done it well for this period of time doesn't mean you can't redeem those the next years and the next season of life. So if you're listening to this and you're a parent, like, this is the ball's in your court. Like, let's make it happen. Let's, the joy of church, the joy of Jesus. So
Come
yeah,
on.
sorry for the
Bishop
there.
Pastor Eli Blevins just dropped a word on us. Like that was some fire right there. That was good.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. But I just know the importance of family, and I know the importance of, you know, because I'm not parenting, but I have seen the example of parents before, and I'm sincerely and genuinely blessed by mine. So yeah, you guys have a huge opportunity to be the biggest role models in the world for your kids. So do it.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely. So we just wanted to introduce ourselves and introduce to you the Preacher's Kid podcast. We're going to be talking
Let's go.
about, this job of being a preacher's kid. And it's a position, it's a job. It comes with a lot. It has some
It's calling.
advantages. It
Yeah.
has some disadvantages. It has some great opportunities, but it also has some obstacles that you'll have to overcome. And we're going to talk about as many of those as we possibly can. So we want to
Yep.
invite you, Preacher's Kids, to subscribe on whatever platform you're listening on here on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, Google Play. We're also going to be posting the full length episodes on YouTube. So we want to invite you there. And then underneath every single one of these episodes, we're going to have some links where you can connect with Eli and I on social media. And we
Yep.
would love for you to send in questions or comments,
Yep.
rate, leave a review, all those types of things. But we want to be here for you and we want to start the conversation. And we don't want to just talk about these things back and forth. We want to talk to you and with you, and we want to help you in this and through this. So we're going to have a Facebook group opportunity for you to be in community if you have a Facebook. If you don't, I'm sorry, you'll just have to listen and tweet us. But we're so
Instagram us.
excited. Come on, Instagram us, TikTok us.
Don't
Well,
Snapchat us.
yeah, I don't have a Snapchat. I'm not cool enough to have one of those. So
I mean, I have one for literally the only sake is I have a friend and we have like a streak on there of like 500 days. The literally only thing I use it for is just like to just send like to make sure the streak is alive because I'm a 7 in the Enneagram, and so like we like those kind of things. But that's it.
I am a 1 on the Enneagram. But
Mhm.
when I took those little tests, I took like 4 of them. It said that 7 was like my backup number or something. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
So I relate on a certain level, but like I'm a full-blown 1. I'm with it all the way.
Here's my here's my problem. Sorry for the segue, all our listeners with Enneagram is I've taken it 4 times and I've gotten 3 different answers from it. I've gotten a 6, I've gotten a 7, and I got a 3, and then I got a 7 again. So I genuinely have no idea what I am. Maybe I'm just a pastor's kid. That's I
Come on.
Jesus was all things to all people, so we
Let's
can be all
go.
things to people.
My,
So just
what
because
I
you are
think
a number doesn't mean you can't operate.
maybe you know what? Because I've taken a few of them too, and like sometimes it was a 1, then it was like, well, you could be a 7. Sometimes it was a 7, but you could be a 1. One time I got a 4, and I just don't have time for that kind of emotional life. So I'm going to
No,
reject that. I think what we are is we're 10s. We're both 10s. It's the
10
number
out
that
of 10.
doesn't really care. But we're both 10s. Come on. If you're a preacher's kid, we think you're a 10.
That's right. That's right. So, hey, I don't want to be tied down to a number though. Like, how dumb would that be? Like, yeah, I can't do this because like I'm a 1, and like it's got to be done this way. And no, like lighten up, have some fun, or whatever your number. I have no idea what the other numbers mean. Number 1, what you said, it has no relevance to me other than your number 1. So I have
Come
no idea
on.
what the meaning of a 1
Thanks,
is.
Eli.
But
You're number 1 too. Man, I'm so excited to be doing this with you. All
I'm
right.
sorry, everyone. I apologize for the segues in advance.
You can
We're
expect more of the same in upcoming episodes. And it's been great meeting all of y'all. We can't wait to hear from you, and we'll see you back in a couple weeks.
let's go.